How do you guys store your soft plastics, slash swim baits, slash big glide baits, soft swim baits, all that stuff? We're gonna dive into that today. We think we found a solution for clamshells especially that we're very excited about. And then we've got some experiments to conduct. Cheap versus expensive.
Some of the most popular options that are out there on the internet.
Are they worth it or not?
That is a huge question for me. So this year, we re-looked at that we were storing all of our tackle in general. Buzbe is how we're gonna do all the hard baits. I mean, that's a done deal, right?
Maybe.
But maybe for soft baits too. So soft baits are kind of tough, especially if you're a kayak angler. I like to have one really big bag with a flat bottom. But there's really not a lot of options out there that fit the mold. So we're looking at all the sort of different ones from cheap to expensive to see which ones solve our problems the best.
And if that sounds interesting to you, then you might belong to this channel. So subscribe, smash that like, ring that notification bell, come back Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, and see us go live, where you might also get a shmiv-away.
What a shmiv-away, if you're wondering, is sort of like where you show up to the live, you hang out, you have fun, and then eventually you have a chance to where like we would just send you something,
here,
like maybe this, and you would not have to pay for it. And it would just like come to you from the aggressively average anglers.
Wouldn't that be crazy? You should go to the live. All right, so today, cheap versus expensive, some experimental stuff, and solutions for things that are notoriously difficult to store or to bring with you, especially on like a kayak. Maybe on a boat, you can just bring a briefcase, duffel bag, your dump truck, like whatever, and like carry all the stuff you want. On a kayak, you got to slim down. On the bank, you have to slim down. So what are some solutions for that? Let's get into them. Okay, so let's look at just your standard way of storing plastics. You're either using a bin under your seat in a kayak. You might use a milk crate in the back of your kayak. That's an option too. You might just use bags, something like this, which I've gotten a million of these from Monster Bass, and a million different brands sell these, as well as some on Amazon. And we're gonna look at those in a brief moment. So you could have this zipper top, doesn't expand on the bottom, but it'll hold, 20 bags of plastics.
20 to 27, I think, is the most I've gotten. 27 is very specific.
Worms are pretty easy to stuff, so if you're stuffing worms in there, you can.
That was a total mix. So that was craws, worms, paddle tails, everything.
My current clamshell solution right now is an expandable, they call it a gusset bottom bag. So it expands on the bottom, allowing you to get a lot more girth.
You gotta get the girth in there.
So you can stuff a bunch of clamshells in here. This is fine. It's not the ideal solution, so that's why we're looking into some new solutions today.
Bags like that run anywhere from like $2 to $5.
You can get that Plano, the new Plano, you guys.
It looks like this, which is like a crappier version of both the ones we just showed you.
Yep.
The zipper top doesn't go all the way across. It's on the side instead of the top, and then the bottom opens up like that much. But it's $30. I was like, what? So we were gonna go order a couple of different versions of the Plano. I couldn't even bring myself to do it. I didn't want to deal with the return shipping. I mean, that was really sorry, not sorry.
It's like this is not really like our job to do that.
No, I'm not doing.
I don't feel obligated to buy that.
I wanted to, but I didn't. So while we were scouring the internet looking for something similar, we found these Harmony bags. Oh, can you see them? Harmony bags on Amazon. These were
10 for $10.
These are $1 a piece. So these come in a 10-pack. It looks like this, and but I mean, okay.
So Amazon bags.
This is sight unseen. This is sight unseen. I'm just gonna hand this to Jeff, and you're going to tell me what you think. Hold on. Just look at it. Open it up. Give it a chance.
Okay.
You can write on the outside, both on the white erase part, but also on the standard.
It's got a slight gusset.
It's pretty solid.
Load up test.
Yeah, I'm betting you can get 10, pretty easily 10 packs in there.
Ready? Hold this.
Yeah,
I'll stuff it. One.
Now the most economical way to stuff these bags is to put them vertically. Usually, one on this side, some on this side. That's generally the best way to do it.
You can speed this up in post.
Yes. We're at the end. I think we're at the end. 10 bags. Okay. You could get more.
Let me see how easy this is to seal.
It's not that bad. You gotta get the one big bag out of the way. That's your problem.
Get out of the way, Grande Bass.
This is a long worm. 10-inch worm.
Yeah, I know. All right. So,
very comfortable.
Sealed up. I mean, first of all, feel terrible. Terrible feel to the quality.
Really?
Oh yeah. This is that
For $1?
For $1, it's it's a $1
It's kind of
bag.
durable. It's pretty durable.
I don't like the feel of the bag.
Sure.
But overall, like it seems to be. It's actually kind of airtight. Oh, there's a hole in the bottom already.
I don't expect these to be waterproof.
I didn't expect it to be waterproof.
Yeah,
but I didn't expect it to have a hole in it.
I expect to have a hole in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
anyways, it's holding, right? And then let's do the upside down test.
Oh. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
So
for $1.
The open bottom is a saving grace to me. This makes it
These
so
would
that
break if that wasn't there.
Yeah, we had 10 in here very comfortably. This is how I would recommend roughly 10 to 15 packs, depending on what you got. If you're an ultralight fisherman, if you're storing stuff at home and you're like a hyper organized OCD person, this is the way to go.
Easy label.
Could things be better? 100%. But I think with the flat bottom, 10 for 10. And for $1 to get 10 to 15 packs in here, I think there's a use for these. Is this the best solution out there? Absolutely not.
Not even close. I mean, when you start paying, $8 to $15 for a bag, or 30 if you get the Plano, you get that like softer feel,
TPU
more durable.
Plastic,
And then you get the reinforced like stitching, blah, 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 and then you usually pay for a zipper, which is nice.
And these are those are not waterproof either, to be fair.
I don't care about the water.
No,
but this, it feels a lot cheaper, but that Ziploc, it zipped pretty easy. Yeah. And obviously it held.
Now the other thing I will say is there could be a benefit to having smaller bags. So a lot of people say like, well, the Monster Bass bags are too small. I'm like, 100%. If you're a one bag type of person, like you're not going to be happy. Yeah. However,
you can have multiples.
You can have multiples. So if you are a kayak fisherman and you're like, look, I mostly fish with plastics, or
like
you're like
Rolodex of bags.
or you in the back of your truck, you have like a milk crate and you've got like 6 or 8 of these, and you just kind of grab what you want for the day. This could be a great solution for you because these stack together really nicely. Yep. So that is, again, flavor of tea of your choice. Think about it. I think this is pretty solid. For $1, I don't regret this purchase. I'm not sending it back. I'm keeping this one.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'll use them at home, 100%.
I did sort of mention like under seat storage, so you can always go with like these.
$150 crate.
It's $70. But anyways, or you can just get similar. I really don't want to throw that Garmin. Or you can get one of these things, which is pretty. Oh, look, it's full of Buzbe pieces. This is my. You guys have kids? Like, if you have kids or you were a kid, that's everybody. Then you had the tub of Legos. You know what I'm talking about. This is like your tub of Legos. Look, they all got the little Lego bottoms.
Fish Legos. So I use something that's right in between this and what Jeff has. So I have like a heavier duty version of one of those, but a much larger version. So I use it's essentially a busboy tub with a lid, and it works really well.
All right, but ideally, I'd like to separate my plastics a little bit more than even that can. So that's why we like the bags. So we did kind of cheap versus expensive Ziploc zipper bags. Let's step it up even higher. Can I have my baits back, by the way? No. I'm trying to steal my baits.
All right. So that still doesn't solve your problem of clamshells. So clamshells, I'll be honest with you guys, I should have mentioned this. Clamshells, this is a no-no. You could fit like 4 clamshells in here and and you'd be done. That's the problem with clamshells. They're awkward size. There's no uniformity in size or thickness or anything or shape. It's just a smattering of awkward shapes that can't be molded into something like this. So these actually don't do a great job unless they're really big and have a really wide bottom. They don't do a great job of managing those clamshells. So how do we fix that problem? Idea!
Enter the quick cube. So we had a thought, and we hit up our boy Caleb over at Buzbe. He's the guy that is the creator of Buzbe and runs all this stuff, and he also works way too hard. So he said, sure, I'll send you some stuff to experiment with. The quick cube we have unboxed on the channel before, and we used it for different purposes. You put a bunch of swim baits in one of yours. I put all my camera gear in one of mine. So in fact, it's right here, and it's still full of camera gear. So there you go. That's been a great use, and this is the Quick Cube L, the large.
So their sizes match up with 3600 and 3700 size boxes. So just in case you're thinking about it, the larger size 3700, the smaller size 3600.
L for 3700, and it's pretty much the same exact size, just soft. And it will fit into your crate if you use a crate, which is nice. So what we did, what we're thinking, and we actually haven't tested it yet, so we're testing it on this video, is we'll take the large deep version,
Gigantor,
and let's see how this does for the most commonly clamshell disaster baits we have, which are paddle tails.
Paddle tails are the worst because they come in different lengths, but they also come in different counts. Kitech is the worst. So like the Kitechs, oh god, Kitechs are the worst. They come in like 7, 8, 10s. And so, but they only come in like 2 or 4 packs. And so they're like these long, they're these long rectangles. Okay. There's gotta be one more. I knew it.
Hang on.
Still one. Okay. Can we be done?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay. Jeff is 4. So Kitex are the worst, in my opinion. I feel like they create a lot of problems. Nico Baits Cross are like notorious. They're a huge square that's like this big. So you get all these different sizes, and then there's like the hanger.
Fish Lab stuff.
They have the hanger tabs for retail packs that are on top, and they just create awful sizes. No uniformity whatsoever. So we're gonna grab the worst ones, see how many we can get in here.
Ready?
And then see how it stacks up to some of the other options.
Z-Man Swimmers. BP Tournament Paddles.
Yeah, whatever those are. These guys, the Salamanders.
Oh my gosh, this Samurai, look at how
that's the worst.
Big that is.
I love the bait, but yeah, it's terrible.
13 Fishing, my name is Jeff.
13 Fishing is pretty also notoriously bad for these.
Swing Impact Fatties.
These are one of the better ones, but they're still too thick. This is the Nico Winnow 95. Awesome bait, 10 out of 10.
Big Kitex, all day. River to Sea D-Walkers.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Lugily.
So also a problem. Dude, what?
Yay, a perfect solution.
Well, there are some drawbacks. Let me give you some drawbacks.
Not a single drawback that I can think of.
The one thing that's nice is it's clear.
I forgot my purr baits.
All right, well,
make room.
So here's the biggest win, right? I mean, obviously we took everything that was in that huge bag or a large portion of it, and we got it in there. Jeff, you just found another one. If I want to get it in there, this is it's so flexible. You don't really have a problem sneaking another couple of packs in there, which is great.
Yep.
It obviously has a lot of high dollar premium features like the weatherproof. But you do get the window. So the window is big. A lot of the options you'll find out there, they either won't fit the clamshells or they won't be clear, right? And so you can't like just quickly see like, oh, these are my paddle tails or, you know, whatever. So that could
be a label it too.
Yeah, you can label it for sure. But that could be, you know, that's some of the benefits. And then obviously soft-sided, super heavy duty. Those are all great features. Some of the cons, very expensive. Not cheap. So these are 40 bucks, a couple bucks.
That's the highest end.
This is the biggest size that they make. So 40 is the biggest one. But here's what's crazy.
This is like 23 for the mid.
But here's what's crazy. Your other option, like for a Plano bag, was $30 on sale, I think, for like ostensibly a Ziploc.
And here's why. Here's why. This is 10 times better. This is why right here. I can do this.
Yes.
I can open the whole thing. Upgrade. And I can say, look at all my stuff. It would be on my lap, you guys. This is a little harder to hold. But if you're sitting in your kayak and you're like, I want to look through my baits, this is better than an open top Ziploc by 1,000%.
Yep. And you can use it for other things too, right? So
I'm pretty stoked about
these can be used to stow anything like a jacket, a cell phone, some of that other kind of stuff.
Well, that's what they're
toolkits.
made for. We're using it for a totally different purpose.
We're slowly repurposing these. So this is supposed to be like a catch-all, does a lot of different things, but isn't like padded to protect. But then you could also get the mid for less than $30. So you can get the mid regular, I think, for like 25 some bucks, and for like $28, you can get the mid deep, which we will pack here in a second, but they make those sizes as well. And I will say, these mids make awesome, I mean, yes, they move around a little bit, but these actually make awesome swim bait containers, which I'll show you here in a minute. The other point to make is because these are the same size and dimension as a 3700 size box, they fit in the same sorts of compartments. Will you stop it? So if you want to put this vertically next to your tackle boxes, wherever you store them, you could certainly do that too. You can easily slide these underneath the seat. That is what the 3700 size, you know, you're traditionally doing in a kayak. So a lot of like common ways to store these, unlike the bags. The bags are a problem. I have to always put mine behind my seat. That's really the only place for like one of those really big bags full of clamshells. This solves a couple of other problems as well. And again, you can use these for other things, traveling, camera gear. I mean, unlimited use for all different types of purposes.
I dig it.
I don't hate it. It's expensive. For sure.
Yeah, like we will concede the priciness of this option, but I do like that it's multi-use purpose, right? Yeah. So like I can say I'm going, you know, using some of my favorite paddle tails and plastic swim baits for the day. I know I'm going to use this a ton, then I'll pack this up. And if I want to use it for something else, I can dump these out and use something else. Not a big deal. Sure. So pretty solid solution. I don't know. You guys let us know what you think. Obviously the Ziplocs are still a great option. We're not saying do not do that. But if you want to like do something super cool, you can do this. And you can use BurlyFishing 10 to get 10% off of your order. So if you're thinking about it, you can save a whole $4.
Well, I mean, that gets you into the deep for a little bit less money. So there you go.
Yep. And again, the mediums are definitely cheaper. So if you want to go on the lower end, we can hit those. So let's look at the other things that Caleb sent us. We've got, probably won't stock these up right now. These are the perfect tool system right there. So that is the medium. It's the size of a 3600 size box. And it is the exact size because it's not the deep variation. But we got a couple of those. size.
So here's the deep. So this is the mid-size. Here's the mid-size deep. It's about, I don't know, 50%, 100%? Yeah, it's about double. Freaking awesome. I love it. I've been using these. This is not a perfect solution again, but I keep about 8.
But it's our solution.
8 or 10 glide baits inside of here. And
That's a lot.
It's a lot, and it's not full. But
in the deep one.
No, in the
that one you did?
Easily. Yeah, easily. And the thing is I like to keep it full because I don't want them moving around very much.
Fair.
This is heavy enough to not get penetrated with hooks so far. I made it about a third of the season, no problem. But they do move around, so they are banging into each other a little bit, so you just have to be a little careful. But kind of, you know, for a quick, I was like, hey, I need to carry some swim baits real fast. And I just threw them in there, and they've actually lived in there ever since. The deep obviously would hold more. I'd recommend the smaller size just so you don't get too many in there bashing into each other. But hey, kind of worked.
And in case we didn't show it, there's the large normal, right? So that's another great option too. It's a little slimmer if you're doing clamshells, but I could see us using these tackle system-wise. I would love to use like a large deep and a mid deep, and then just have it filled with like our go-to clamshells, which would be like some of the craws, some of like the creature style baits where you want to like keep its shape, and then definitely for paddle tails.
That's the biggest one. That's the biggest one.
It's such a big issue.
It's the biggest problem that I've encountered, and it's the bait that I feel like I absolutely have to have. I need to have those, right? You kind of have to have a paddle tail with you.
If money is not an issue, this is the best solution. Because money exists and is a problem for most of us, including us.
Bags.
We understand it's not like the best option. So the bags are such a great solution in general. If you want to change it up, try something new, check this out for yourself.
Yeah. I can't wait to try it this season. That I'm actually really excited to mess around.
Yeah, we're going to use this for the whole season. We'll let you guys know towards the end of the year how we feel about it.
Let us know what you're using for your clamshell storage so that we can go and test them out. Happy to look at different things. Obviously, we're going in some weird directions, so let us know what you guys are using. Go check it out. Comments below.
Let's talk about swim baits.
The other problem.
Soft and hard swim baits.
Yeah.
So our solution so far has been slap them in a tackle box. Now, as you guys know, as we have learned along the way, that unless it's made of like silicone, for example, it's going to like have a wonky tail halfway through the season, especially if you store them vertically like we do.
Technically you can fix, I get it, but I mean, I just don't want to deal with that. It doesn't seem like the right way to do things.
So I'll show you what we showed you before from me, which is the I Surrender bag, which holds 8
That's a
pouches.
It's a big
that fit like 2 each. So here's a bunch of swim baits, as you can see.
Super fun to unroll in a kayak.
Yep, it's not. And then you can see that we have like the Mega Bass there. So soft and hard swim baits in here, and then it just rolls up nice and easy.
Which is cool. I mean, and what? Do you know how much that one is?
Less than 30 bucks.
Pretty cheap.
Pretty cheap.
Pretty cheap.
So that was our solution. Now, because we are who we are,
started looking around, looking for some stuff. I'm like, what else is out there? We stumbled onto this bad boy right here, the Plano Z series, right? It's the Z series.
Now to be clear, when you type in lure wraps, which is what these are technically referred to as, you don't get like an insane amount of options. You get the Swimbait Undergrounds, which are insanely expensive. You can get some from, who makes, Bait Sanity makes some good ones. They're like single and double wraps. And then when you get to like the 6, 7, 8 pouch setups, which is ideal for us if we had one go bag.
Which is what I
want that.
That's what I'm making.
You end up pretty much with this one.
The Plano Series Z series, whatever. Seemed really awesome, heavy duty. I don't know why this is so heavy duty, but it is.
Feels heavy duty.
It feels heavy duty.
Cool.
It's got this in the back. This is like a mesh. Let's get it real close. So you can see there's like a mesh back here.
It's full perforated mesh. There's no back.
But there's coating in plastic, which is what I saw when I was looking on the website.
No description on their website.
And there's like no details on the website. Honestly, it took me like 10 minutes to find a picture of it just unrolled. And it was like a promo picture from their website. And it was like, I had to dig for it. So I didn't really know what it looked like unrolled. But for less than $30 or $30-ish on Amazon, I was like, I'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. When I first got it, I was like, this is going to be awesome. Because when you unroll it, check it out. You get like 6 pouches going this way. The way the pouches open is super smart. So they open up like an envelope individually. So like each one as you go opens up like this, heavy duty, right? And so there's 6 of those. I was like, dude, this is dope. I'm gonna be able to put 2 to 4.
Struck me with it.
Perfect shot. This seemed perfect because I was like, yo, I could fit 2 to 4 baits pretty easily this way, roll it up, and I've got more than what I would need for a day. For me personally, not a huge glide bait guy. But the nice thing about them opening the way that they do, right, because they open this way, I can use for soft plastics. They're so much easier to get a soft plastic big swim bait in there.
Especially in the original package.
I was like, yo, this is smart. I love it. And then I used my brain for 4 seconds after I got it open. I was like, this is awful. Problem. Big problem. So you'll notice the front plastic, great. That's exactly what you want because that is not going to get hooked up by all the treble hooks I was planning on putting in there. Then I realized the backing has no plastic. This goes right through. It just goes right through. It's just that mesh with no plastic behind it, which means
all your hooks are buried forever.
Every single one of my hooks are getting stuck in there. Now, is this a complete deal breaker? No, like you can tinker with it and you can probably get it out. And
get treble covers.
Yeah, you can do treble covers. I mean, you can just be really careful how you put them in there. I'm honestly, now that I think about it, I'm probably willing to give it a shot, but this is a big drawback for me. Enough to be able to, for me to say, if I didn't already have it in hand, I wouldn't have bought it. I wouldn't have bought it. And it doesn't, you just can't tell from the website or anywhere that the back side of it doesn't have that
unless somebody else reviews it. So you can do a whole bunch of stuff.
And it's cheap. It's not that expensive.
And it's not, but it's definitely a deal breaker for me having this mesh in the back because now I can't store anything with more than one hook in there.
So single hook plugs, if you're like a saltwater fisherman, I feel like that's maybe what this was designed for.
Here's the Baka Burrito is like a nice bait for this. Those HUDs, the weedless HUDs can go in here.
They're gonna get the paddle. They're gonna get mashed.
Pressed up against this could be an issue. And you have like a crisscross pattern on your soft baits.
I didn't think about that. Maybe
like that Mega Bass that I have, I could stick in there in the original packaging. I'm a 0 out of 10 on this. It's absolutely unusable in my opinion. To me. Now, you guys are out there, you're gonna be like, well, I use it for this specifically, and it's perfect. Sure. It's probably not a way that I fish, and then I say, great.
Look, I'm not saying that there's no use for it, but for what I wanted it for, that was a huge drawback for me. And again, put me in a position where I'm like, you know what?
Put details up on your website. Maybe more pictures.
Yeah, like maybe I don't want that. So I'm going to
return.
I'm going to decide whether I want to mess with it or return. I'm not sure. I'm going to think about it. I'm probably going to return. It just makes me really leery that it's
bait sanity.
Well, I'm probably going to put a couple in there and just see how it goes.
Sure.
So I'm going to throw a couple in. Well, let's do it right now. We're here.
It's a walleye. Yay.
Give me like 3. Wow, this will fit a lot.
I can't wait till I never get my lures back.
I'll have to cut this thing open to get them. All right, so I put 3 in there, as I would. All right, so I grabbed 3 and put them in one of the pouches. I'm afraid to touch it.
Because this is the net. He's got his merce. Shake it around as it would, as if it were in a boat. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
Hooks everywhere.
A little scary.
You should have been terrified.
Okay.
All right, let's retrieve our lures. So we're digging for hooks right now.
Hold on.
Very
sharp. That one's through.
Did I lose my swim bait?
Ow. Hold on.
My swim bait is gone, and so is
both of them in there.
So these ones, this one got a little snagged, not too bad. This one didn't really get snagged that bad at all, and they're pretty, thick gauge hooks there. Then I have another one in here that has just like really fine trebles, like big light wire trebles, which are great for like certain glide baits and such, and different techniques for glide baits. And it went through and through.
I can't get it out.
And I don't think we're getting it back out. So, case in point, the Series Z lure wrap bag is not for what we thought it was, and maybe you thought the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not happy.
Can confirm getting returned.
Yeah.
If, again, you're using a single hook, big soft plastic, maybe your salt stuff, like giant tubes
plugs,
and whatnot, plugs, like, sure, it can work for that. Anybody else who is considering this for swim baits, don't get it. And with little to no inconvenience, you too can wrap up your swim baits.
Oh, no! The other one went through.
This is hilarious.
Tell me how you store your swim baits in anything other than a $7,000 tube or original pack or the I Surrender, because I'm not happy with this for that solution. Now, again, it's probably not made for it, but this wasn't for me for that, so that's a return.
Sorry, Plano,
we tried.
We didn't use your product how you intended it.
Yeah, my bad, dog.
Also, you have 0 instructions on the packaging on your website, little to no pictures anywhere.
And I mean, we tried to, like, Plano seems to have a good solution. They have these bags that are, I mean, essentially, I think they make them waterproof, right? But the zippers don't work the way that I would really like for clamshell, so it doesn't really work for that scenario. The bottoms don't open enough. It's about an inch and a half, so it's not wide enough to like really solve that problem, and they're expensive. Like when you compare pricing, I could get the Buzbe mid or the large for almost the same price, especially if you use our code. And then it's like, okay, well, I could have gotten this other thing that was a lot nicer, that solved my problem, but also maybe does other things for me, and is just a lot higher quality, versus a bag that really didn't solve any of my problems. So like the bag for $30, didn't love it. And then the Z series, I mean, I use Plano stuff all the time. Like, it's not a bash Plano. It's just like this specific problem is a problem for a reason. Yeah. We're making this video because if you go online and you try and find a solution for a clamshell, there's like 1 or 2, which tells me right off the bat that like no one has just noticed yet, and that there's not.
How have you not noticed yet?
I know.
This is a problem we need to have solved. So we still haven't found like the perfect solution.
No.
For this season, we're going to be using those Buzbe quick cubes for all of the clamshell stuff, and probably for some of the bigger soft swim baits. I can see if you keep the original packaging, which I will from now on.
Even if you don't, because they hold their own shape, they're leaving room for the tails.
Sure.
So like even with them piled on top of each other, as long as they're not like
Z-Man
a
Elastic.
problem like the Z-Man Elastic issue, there's enough room in them to like not get beat up. So if you're not like compressing them hard, which they're not in those soft containers like the quick cubes, that's a win for me, especially in the smaller mid for the swim baits.
Right. Okay. Cool.
I like it.
So that's our verdict. What's yours? Hit us up in the comments below. If you guys like the content, be sure to smash that like, ring that notification bell, and be subscribed to the channel. Come back Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern when we go live. We got lots of cool stuff that we talk about there. We learn new techniques every single week, and we meet really cool people in the industry. And you also might want to have a chance at a shmiv-away.
The thing that you get for no money.
It could happen. All right. Thanks for watching, you guys. We'll catch you on the next one.